So obviously you came here knowing you're probably not going to be a starting quarterback. Why was this an attractive option for you?
Yeah, John, I think, Coach Swinney wanted me to come here and fill a role that he thought was best for me, and I felt like this is a situation that was best for my 30-year-old self, and to where I can be in the moment and be the best possible person I can for this team and help them at all costs. And I feel like each day that's my goal coming in this facility. I want to improve and help the team in any way that I possibly can. And I think coming here, I definitely knew that in mind, and that's what I've been wanting to do ever since.
I think Coach Swinney said that the idea of helping Caroline's great-grandson get into coaching was a big deal for him. So, I mean, how much is this getting into this building and maybe learning from the coaches?
100%, yeah, John. It's been extremely awesome learning from such great coaches. I mean, Coach Swinney, he just has such an amazing perspective on really everything, on life, on football, and it's so great to hear. I mean, being in a couple other places, you hear so many different from different people, and hearing from Coach Swinney, he's obviously the best to do it, one of the best to do it. So it's just really awesome to learn from him and hear from him. So if I do want to get into coaching down the road, that I have his knowledge that he's passed down to our team that I can use for me as well down the road.
So, I mean, obviously, like Nick Saban as opposed to like down the stream, and what are the differences? What would you say he's like?
I mean, I know they both are phenomenal leaders. I mean, as you can tell, they both have won a lot of games, and obviously they're both doing something right. Differences-wise, I think they're really, I mean, people could say they're different here and there, but in my opinion, they're both just phenomenal leaders and can find a way to make their team win when things get tough. When adversity hits, they step up and they get the job done. I mean, I have a ton of credit to Coach Saban. I mean, he helped me get to where I was my first 3 years, and Coach Swinney right now, they've both done a great job overall and really are great winners for sure.
David with TigerNet.com. When you made the move out to Arizona, what was your thought process? I'm going to do this a year, 2 years. Did you think you wanted to get out? And then, what made you decide, I want to do this another year and choose Clemson?
Right. Yes, sir, David. I think, in the moment, I felt like it was the best decision for me to go to Arizona State. And honestly, I mean, people can say, why'd you do this, why'd you do that? But I really know, and coming here has helped me learn this, that everything happens for a reason. And I probably wouldn't be sitting in this seat today if I didn't make that pit stop there. And I know this is where I'm supposed to be right now. And so taking that step in my life built me to where I am today. So, I mean, really, I just put it all in God's hands, and, everything is up to him. And so I'm honestly extremely happy about my experience there. I learned a lot, saw a lot of cool things, was in a different side of the country. So that was really cool. And so, I didn't really know what my next step was. It was a quick decision, obviously. And so it's just really cool to see where I am now. I mean, I really never would have thought I'd be sitting in this seat right now, I'll be honest with you.
So you came back here. We saw you, I think, with a bowl practice, I guess.
Right, yes, sir.
Did you already know? You'd been here before. Did you already know, or did that, seeing it that day or however long you spent here, did that kind of cement it for you?
I think, to be honest with you, I had heard so much about Clemson coming out of high school. I'd, taken a few visits there, and I guess being in college, you just see how great of a leader Coach Swinney is and how awesome he is to his players and how great of an environment that he's built here. And I think with me just seeing that and just having the opportunity when he wanted me to come up here and just come to a bowl practice and just getting to sit down and talk to him, it just made it so clear that there really couldn't be a better option than Clemson. So I think it definitely worked out in my favor, him wanting me to come up here.
Stories growing up did you hear about Bear Bryant? What side of your family is that?
Yeah, John, so it's my dad's grandfather, so my great-grandfather. And for sure, I heard so many stories. I mean, growing up in Birmingham, Alabama, I'm just an hour away from Tuscaloosa, so I would go to games and stuff as kids, and, you hear so many stories from past players, and even when I was playing there and even playing here, there's some staff members that had played for my great-grandfather, and so it's really cool just to be able to hear the different sides of stories, the perspective that they have, because obviously I never got a chance to meet them, and so, it never built pressure, never anything like that. It was kind of just an honor to have in my life and so special to think about that I never got a chance to meet him, but he made such a lasting impact on so many people's lives that it makes me want to do the same thing for others as well.
Isn't that why you decided, when did you figure out that coaching might be something you want to do?
I mean, I think, I've always heard when you love something, you run with it, and I really have learned so much through playing ball. I mean, being behind some of the greatest quarterbacks to do it right now. I mean, there's 4 guys that I've played behind that were first-round picks at Alabama, and then learned obviously a ton from some NFL coaches at ASU, and here with Coach Swinney and his staff. It's just so great. And so I think I've just been able to learn so much about the game, and from really just the statistical side, everything. I've watching tape, all that. I've just built so much knowledge to where, and I love it so much, and I want to spend so much more time doing it that I don't know if I could give it up quite yet. I feel like I could definitely see myself in the coaching world.
What has Garrett Riley taught you that maybe you haven't learned elsewhere?
Hey, Coach Riley, he's absolutely phenomenal. He has been such a great eye-opening for me. I mean, I've seen just the most relaxed, chill play caller I've ever seen in my entire life. He is just straight to the point, knows what he's doing. I mean, we're going to do our stuff, and we're going to do it efficiently. And he gives the quarterback a really stability behind himself where he can sit back and, he has complete confidence in to throw the football. So, I mean, even no matter who's in there, we're going to be able to be effective. And with the offense that he's built, I mean, you have no shyness away from just slinging the rock. I mean, that's what's so great about it. And he's just built so much confidence in us and in the entire team and what he's done installing the offense that it's been really, really great.
You Paul William, or just the Paul part of it?
My full name is Paul William Bryant Tyson, and so I have the name change from my great-grandfather, my grandmother, so that's kind of where the name change was his daughter. So I got Tyson, but Paul William Bryant, I'm named after my great-uncle, and then my great-grandfather as well.
What is it like kind of growing up with that name in Alabama? Did kids you grew up with, did they know about the name? I mean,
you said David, right?
Yeah.
David, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's just such an honor because it really could have, like a lot of people can come at you from different type of ways and say there's a lot of pressure here, or you need to live up to this, but it really just made me think how blessed I was to be in this situation. I mean, it gave me an opportunity to love football, and it brought me to really who I am today, and probably did help me wanting to get into coaching as well. So I think overall, it just was such an honor growing up, and I was always pulling for Alabama because of him, and so it was really cool just to have him in my life, and just knowing, obviously I didn't get to meet him, but it really has had a lasting impact on who I am today.
He passed away, I guess, 20-something years probably before you were
I think
born.
81,
like
right?
83.
Okay, 83.
Yeah. But what stories have your families passed down? Do you remind anyone of him? Is there any kind of story that stands out and you're like, yeah, that's my great-grandfather, that's cool?
I think, there's obviously some great stories where he got the nickname Bear. He wrestled a grizzly bear for $1 and beat him, and then didn't even get the $1. The guy ran away and didn't even pay him the $1. I think he was like 12 years old. So there's a lot of so cool stories, and how I've heard from past players how he was just so tough on them. And in that time, like, you don't even have water breaks at practice. So it was just a whole different ball game. And then, but I think probably the coolest thing for me personally I had was, I still remember Coach David Cutcliffe. I went and visited Duke, and I had never seen him, never met Coach Cutcliffe in person, but the second he had seen me, he started crying because he thought I looked so familiar to my great-grandfather, and that really hit me differently because I had never, obviously, had that encounter before, and now Coach Cutcliffe is like a mentor to me today, and he's been so great for me, and has even helped train me a little bit throughout the off seasons, and so he's been great, and that was a really cool moment for me, to be able to see that.
Did you wrestle a grizzly bear for $1?
I mean, I feel like I'd have to if my great-grandfather did. I couldn't shy away from it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to go fight one, that's for sure. Or that had played through Alabama. Excuse me, I misspoke. Like Andrew Zout. Some people that had played at Alabama, Coach Swinney himself, and they had just also heard so many stories about my great-grandfather that it has just been passed down to them, and then they were able to pass it down to me. And so it was it's really even cool that I've learned some from a lot from my great-grandfather from here as well. I misspoke on that. I apologize, John.
One of the things in your role now, being a veteran quarterback in that room, obviously Cade, a sophomore, as a starter. What's your role like in supporting him? I mean, obviously he's had some, bloopers, I guess, in the first couple games. Like when those happen, do you have any words for him or any ways that you support him, or how do you see him handle those situations?
Right. I think, to be honest with you, I think Cade actually played very effectively, and I think he has done a great job responding to adversity hitting. I mean, especially the quarterback position, that adversity hits in an instant, and you got to be able to bounce back. And I think he's done a great job of that so far this season, and it's continued to improving. But I think for my role, I just want to be in his back corner. And I told him this. I said, anything that you need from me, I'm always here for you. And if you want my help, I'm going to be here and try to help in the best way possible. And so coming off the field, if I see something from a different angle, because he might be looking at one thing and I can look on the backside of a coverage or something, I can maybe give him a couple extra tips. And so coming off the field, I do want to be an asset to him, along with Coach Riley and the rest of the staff and some of the players, just so I can use some of my knowledge that I've built and learned to help make it more efficient on the field overall. But I think a lot of it kind of starts behind the scenes, where it goes from film watching. I mean, me and Cade will spend hours in the film room just checking out the opposing team and seeing the coverages they run and where we're going to attack the defense, maybe watching each play and seeing, okay, if they do this coverage, how are we going to attack them? This coverage, how are we going to attack them? So really a lot of it could come from behind the scenes, but I feel like I just want to be on the field as much of a asset as I can to the team on the sideline and just help them with my knowledge any way that I can.
How sharp do you say Cade is in terms of being able to pick up on some of those things in film study? How much do you feel like he has learned?
Oh, extremely sharp. I mean, as a sophomore, when I was a sophomore, I definitely wasn't as sharp as he is. I mean, he is on top of his stuff, and he works extremely, extremely hard as I've ever seen. And, I think that attests to him. I mean, he's definitely going to be 100% a stud player. I mean, you can just tell by the way he is in the film room and cares about his business and cares about every single rep at practice. I mean, everything matters, and it's the little things that really are important in the discipline that he has.
Any questions for Paul from Zoom? Anyone else in the room?
Spring.
Oh, yes, sir, yes.
What exactly was it, and I mean, how much caught up do you feel like you got in the fall that if you had to play in a game or something were happening, Cade, that you'd be prepared to run the offense?
Right. So my injury was I actually dislocated my thumb a little bit. I don't know exactly what it was. It was the UCL. Drew Brees did it. A bunch of quarterbacks do it when they throw and they hit the helmet, and I can't really explain it. I don't know. I'm not too educated on the doctor side of things, but I know that it was probably about a 8 to 10 week recovery, and so it happened right during our mat drill. So John had just missed kind of the spring game and the whole prep going up to it. So that was obviously tough, but I think kind of with just the years that I've played in the past, I was able to still learn in the film room and stuff from Coach Riley. He did a great job of still keeping me a long path. And a lot of times during practice, I would just kind of sit back about 30, 40 yards from the play and just try to rep it out by myself with no other people besides me, just so I could stay locked in and efficient, because it's also wanting to get all the reps in that I could mentally, but along with something physically as well. So that was kind of as much as I could do. But and then in the summer, I think I had to take another step and grow as a man and grow in the offense. And that would just be, rather than in the month of May, just staying here rather than going home and just wanting to learn the offense even better. So then when fall camp came, I was, I guess, much more comfortable with it than I would have been right spring, if that makes sense.
All right. Thank you, Paul.
I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for having me.